All right, so here we are, Tuesday, November 29th. We're up here doing some treatments. I wasn't gonna take any peeks, but I changed my mind since it's mid 40s and safe to take a peek. Not breaking boxes, just looking in my quilt boxes, but there was a lot of dead on all these landing boards. These are not dead. After treatments, you can usually tell which ones still have a good population. This one actually, you know, that may look great. That's concerning. Because this was caught here in the tree stand deer blind, and last year we caught one here, and they went into winter with a huge population, and they died. They died out really, really quick. I want to say even before the end of the year. So big population, their genetics, I don't know. I think the big population hurts them, but there's definitely bees alive in there. So anyways, we're up here doing our treatments, and we took a peek. Just wanted to show you how I observed through the quilt boxes. So hold on a second. One of the other things you can do if you're concerned if there's bees in there when you're doing your oxalic acid treatments is put your ear next to it. Sounds like a jet engine if they're in there. So anyways, this one, I'm trying to do everything with one hand. Already has the top cover off, but as you can see, there's already mold. These things haven't even been on a month. And that's certainly when I cracked the lid, that was concerning. And then inside, very moist. Also, sorry for all the movement, I apologize, but inner cover doesn't look good, does it? The chips are moist. You can even see condensation over here. Okay, in the wicking. Well, the one next to it wasn't like this. The reason why is there's less bees. I imagine that one I showed you earlier down there is going to be soaking wet. But I just pull back. Now granted, they were treated with oxalic acid, so they were probably pushed to the top. That thing is packed full of bees. So bees means moisture, and I think it's pretty safe to say with some of the overnight temperatures that we had, that if I did not have the quilt boxes on this one, they'd be dead. There's a ton of moisture in there, almost to the point that I need to think about replacing the contents of the quilt box, but there's still plenty of room to absorb the moisture. And actually, I would speculate, yeah, underneath here is warm and dry. It's the top, because it's coming up through. This is gonna be a horrible video with all the movement, I apologize, but it's coming up through. It's hitting the inner cover. And then when there's too much of it and the weight is too great, or the condensation thaws out because it may have frozen and it's thawing now because it's warmer, it rains back down on them. Which is why the top of these contents in the quilt box are wet and the bottom is dry. They are perfectly dry. They don't even know that there's a moisture issue. But with a strong colony with lots of bees, they're going to create a lot of heat. They're going to create a lot of moisture, and that's going to be their downfall unless you have a way to control it. I'm not saying that quilt boxes is the only way to control it, but it's the way I do it. So let me take a look at a couple more here, see if there's anything interesting. All right, so the last one was double brood management. This is single brood management. And it's single because they couldn't build up. And you don't want to give them that open space with undrawn frames or frames that don't have resources in it. It's just too much for them to control. So again, outer cover, it's got some mold. Inner cover's wet, not as bad as the last one. Top is a little moist. This spot right here is super wet. So for whatever reason, that's the low point where the water's running and dripping down. Good news is it's not dripping down on their heads. And they happen to be on that side of the box. So you got 5 frames of bees, single brood management, and they're on that side. They would have been killed. I say that with pretty good confidence too. Moisture is what kills. You can see I haven't even wrapped my hives yet. I'm still contemplating whether I'm going to wrap them. I'm probably going to for sure wrap these singles. I just don't have time today. As far as the doubles, I'm not sure yet. So there you go. We're not even into December yet, and moisture is an issue because they're strong, healthy colonies and they're creating heat. And I've gone through it before, but that's what creates the moisture, and then that hits the tops and rains down on them, and they can't control it. You know, you do want some moisture because they will drink it, they will use it, they will hydrate with it, plus it, you know, does help the climate inside the colony. But too much will kill them, and they create too much if they're strong, and it kills them. So let's look around here a little bit. 9 down here at the end is caught last year, not this year, and they went through winter as a single brood chamber. Actually, it was donated. Long story. It's in another video. Anyways, came out limping. They did produce honey this year, but they needed a lot of help at the beginning. This is ridiculous. This thing is so soaked. It is saturated. The lid, I had to shake it. I apologize for that wax. Had to shake it 20 times and the water was just flowing off of it. And when I opened it, I was like, oh, cool. Inner cover's not bad. Well, this hive colony, apparently these boxes fit really well because that inner cover's not catching any moisture, and this, the inner cover's catching the moisture, the outer cover's not catching anything. So anyways, I was really, really concerned. Super, super wet, soaking wet. Really didn't come out the entrance when I did my treatment. Full. Absolutely full. So, yeah, moisture, moisture, moisture. Even in November, we're dealing with moisture. So it's gonna be a long winter. Let's check some other stuff. All right, so I'm not gonna bore you with the rest of them. Just for the record, 4 was the double we looked in, 8 was the single we looked in, and I have cleaned off these bees. So you come here and you see that, and you're like, good Lord, this is horrible. Yeah, it ain't pretty, but they start dying once winter comes. I could clean that out, but I also can see that there's plenty of room, as you see, someone just came out. Plenty of room for bees to get past. This could be because of the snowfall that we had. We had too much. And I'm sure these landing boards were covered with snow, so they were probably trying to clean it off, or they died trying to bring out the dead, or they just couldn't bring them out too far because there was always snow on there. So I'm taking a peek. There's bees in there. I'm not going to clean it off today. I also, with that snow, it was a crazy snowfall, but that's why I run these upper entrances. That is the reason why I run the upper entrances. I have the ventilation with the side holes of the quilt boxes, right? I don't need those upper entrances for ventilation. What I need those upper entrances for is for the girls to get in and out if they can't access that bottom one. So I'm happy I got them on when I did. I think everything went well, at least with these first ones that I've checked, and we'll continue down the line. But again, I won't bore you with all that. So there you go. So far, so good. And we'll keep you posted. Hope your bees are well. Control that moisture. Thank you.